Hi, my name's Kylie Owen. I'm a PhD student with the Cetacean Ecology and Acoustics Lab. So we have about 100 people working on the BRASS project, and the majority of these are volunteers from all around the world. And these volunteers are students that have just recently finished masters or undergraduate studies in biology and are keen to get experience and skills in the field of cetacean biology and different tracking techniques that are capable from land. So as a part of this study, we're tracking whales as they move south down the coast, and we have 3 different teams on Emu Mountain. 2 of these teams are doing focal follows of the whales, so they're recording every behaviour that the whales complete at the surface, and they focus on one particular group of whales. The other team are a scan sampling team that are essentially trying to get a picture of exactly what's going on with all of the whales in the area at the time. And this scan data gives us an overview of exactly what factors could be influencing our focal whales as they migrate down the coast. We also have an array of hydrophones off the coast, and this allows us to track any whales that are singing as they move down, which may also be influencing the behaviour of the whales we're monitoring. We have 4 boats, small vessels, out tagging whales, and they're deploying digital acoustic recording tags onto the backs of the whales. And these are tags that were developed by Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute by Mark Johnson and Peter Tyak, and we get technical support from people at Woods Hole to help us with these tags. And these tags record the 3-dimensional underwater movement of the whales as they migrate down the coast. And again, we can monitor how many different environmental and social factors influence the behaviour of the whales. As a part of this project, we're particularly interested in the influence of seismic sounds on the behaviour of the whales. So we're doing behaviour response exposures, which basically involves recording the behaviour of the whales for a period of time prior to exposing them to a sound source. We then expose them to a sound source for the same period of time and then continue monitoring their behaviour for another hour after they've been exposed to the sound source. And this, looking at before, during and after the sound exposure, allows us to determine what potential impact the exposure to the sound has had on the behaviour of the whales. So when the whales migrate along the coast, they're migrating from their feeding grounds in the Antarctic to their breeding grounds in the Coral Sea. And historically it's been thought that while whales are migrating, they fast. However, as a part of my PhD project, I was looking at the feeding behaviour of whales while they're migrating. So in the area of Eden on the far south coast of New South Wales, the humpback whales have been seen to feed regularly during during September and October while they're migrating south. And for my PhD, I looked at how changes in prey availability influence the behaviour of the whales while they're migrating. And I found that when there's lots of krill available, the whales actually dedicate a lot of time and energy to feeding. However, when there's fish available, they tend to continue migrating and only feed opportunistically if they happen to encounter a school of fish. So there's still many things that we don't know about this population. As much as we have lots of volunteers and people up here every year monitoring these whales, there's still lots of questions that need answering about this population.